we should work towards being super comfortable and super okay with those kind of scenarios, because that's going to be literally your everyday thing with this offer.
Yeah.
You're fighting against procrastination.
Yeah.
No, that's why they need you, because by themselves they can't.
Yeah.
So you could do all these things even before pitching. In consequence, for example, when you're going for commitment, so you do consequence, urgency, and then instead of even saying, oh, so do you feel it's now time for a change, you can even say, so do you feel that it's not that now it's time for a change, but you realize that you need external help because you cannot follow your own, you cannot be led to your own devices.
Yeah.
And then if they accept that before even going to presentation, if they say, yeah, that's true, or if they give you pushback there, it's perfect, because this is you're preventing a lot of objections and you're coming to an agreement where it's like you cannot trust your own judgment in this area, so you need external help.
Yeah.
So if they can agree with you before the presentation on that fact, guess what? Now you just have them cooked, so to say, because then at the end they're gonna give you all this bullshit, and then you just point that back. You can just realign and say, yeah, I totally understand, and that's exactly why you're here, isn't it? Whatever they give you, it's like, yeah, I totally understand. Isn't that the exact same reason why you're here? We just talked about 5 minutes ago that if we led you to your own devices, you'll always find reasons not to bet on yourself, not to put you first. So what do you feel needs to happen today so that we can break that pattern? And it's just like, if you learn to just thrive, and honestly, it's just like being like a kid in Disneyland in these situations, you're gonna close 10 times more than what you're closing right now.
Okay.
And
Okay.
even if you don't close, they're gonna thank you for the conversation. They're gonna thank you because you're not gonna close everybody. But if you're just willing to go that deep, and they are still willing to give more power to the excuses that create the reality than what they want and their goals and what's really important to them, and they admit that to you in your face, even if they don't buy, it is still a life-changing conversation, because like now they've been faced with harsh truth, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. It's really just about me picking up on the fact that all their reasons are fear. It just seems to be that I'm not picking that up.
Yes, because that's why they are there. Of course, like there's this element of I cannot afford it, or the money is too much, I wasn't expecting that, and that's where we really need to work on the process, so there's no surprises towards the end, right?
Yeah.
Because we don't want to deal with a price shock. But then it's just fear of the investment, fear of themselves, just procrastination at that point. So what I want to do with you is in these sessions is just role play, because
Okay.
it's just role play. You just practice. I can do it myself, and you play prospect. So you can see, okay, well, this is where I need to be, or we can do it the reverse, and then I just give you feedback.
Today we'll do it where I'm the prospect and you do it, and tomorrow I'm going to make myself be the prospect, do the other way. Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna go from I'm gonna drop the price.
Yeah.
Okay, let's assume I just got everything, blah blah blah, and then you just start getting uncomfortable or fearful or uncertain after the price drop. Okay, just give me whatever you want. Make it as as difficult as you possibly can, because that's the whole point.
Okay.
Okay, so ready? All right. So the entire process and everything that we've covered in terms of in terms of the investment is $3,000.
Okay. Okay. That was more than I thought it was going to be. I should have asked you at the start because I feel like I've wasted your time.
No worries. That's okay. You didn't waste my time. You're good. Let's break it down. Like, is it worth it though?
I don't know. It's hard for me to say without knowing more, without doing it or knowing whether it's going to work. I suppose that it's
Of course, like if we knew it wasn't going to work, it would be $0 worth it, right? Would you agree with that? Of
yeah.
course. So that's not what you're here. You're not here for looking for something that is going to not work, right? So I truly understand where you're coming from. Now, let's suppose for a second that this would actually work. Okay, just for a second. And that 3, 6, 12 months from now, you're back into those jeans, your confidence is back, you're showing up the way you want, you have more energy for the rest of your life, would that be worth $3,000 once?
Yes, but I suppose it's still
Why would that be worth $3,000? You want to be
because I've spent loads of time and energy doing other things that haven't worked. I've lost weight and then gained weight again. So knowing that I don't have to do it again would be really good.
okay. I hear you. And money aside, because like the money is the easy part, Kate. Like, if the money is too big of a jump, if it's just the money, we might be able to help. Not 100% sure. Now, if it's you not being sure if you're committed to your goals, then I cannot help you there, right?
Okay.
So that's really what I want to understand here for you, and not in terms of our path together. It's just whatever you do tomorrow, and tomorrow whatever the patterns you fit, are you actually committed to put yourself first, and to draw a line in the sand and bet on yourself, and just start focusing on yourself and just get back to your shape, get your confidence back and everything. Are you actually at that place where you already have enough is enough and you're ready to change, or you're not quite there yet?
No, I am ready. I do want to change. I just
Why is that? Why is now the time where you are ready, and this year is going to be the year where you're going to be back to that shape and to that energy and to that confidence and energy?
because I don't like how I am at the moment
And
myself.
okay, and based on the conversation that we've had, you don't seem like type of person who's willing to settle for that. We covered
No.
that already, right?
Yeah.
So if it's just that, and you're just lacking a little bit of confidence, and of course, making sure financially that can actually be feasible, the question is, do you want that to get in the way of you actually being able to start putting the actions and doing the things to achieve your goals? And that's a simple yes or no.
No.
Okay. So
No,
if
I
you
don't
don't
want to
want
do it.
if you don't want that to get in the way, I might be able to help you. I don't know yet. Okay, but we'll have to have a conversation about your finances to see if there's anything that we can do. But before we even do that, alignment is very important for me, and I just need to have that clarity on whether you are 100% all in on yourself, you're committed, you're doing this. It's just fearing the financial part.
And also, I suppose I will have to speak to my husband about it to see how he feels.
Okay, that's totally fine. We can totally respect that. That's no worries at all. In terms of the finances, though, do you want to have a conversation to see if there's anything that we could do? I have some
Yeah.
questions for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your liquidity now when it comes to you investing in yourself and investing in putting yourself back into that shape, that kind of level of energy, etc.?
Okay, so in terms of what I have available.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I have 500 euro.
Okay, so that's your current liquidity right now that you could put into, um, a kind of program like this, right? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Okay. How about 30 days from now? Okay,
I'd
stop. Let's just stop. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna I'm gonna see if there's anything that I can do logistically, like
yeah.
financially, right? Just to tie that down. The job is not done because I know she's gonna give me more uncertainty, but I just want to tie the logistics because I'm not going to go into 30 minutes of objection handling if it's not even feasible in the first place,
Yeah, okay.
right? So just
Yeah.
first, I'm just gonna take care of that. Maybe we do the open one and there's nothing we could do. So there's like, okay, fine. Now let's say she says 1K, and then 30 days from now, and then she can make it work. Then I go, okay, so if we were to do this, would that help you? Would that help you get started today? Would that help you commit today? Da, 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 da. Yes, but I still have to speak with my husband. Yeah, of course, like if your husband is here and la da 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 da, would that payment plan work for you? Yes, it would. So now solved. Money logistical is solved. She can actually do that, right? And then now I just go and handle the next one, whatever that might be. If she gives me husband, again, like husband time in this offer, it's just majority of the time fear in disguise, because you give me husband and I say, okay, cool. Talking about your husband, do you feel he would want you to get back in shape and get your energy back? Or how do you feel? Yes, he would. Why would he want that for you? Oh, because X, Y, Z, A, B, C. So what happens if he says if he says no? Is there any chance he would say no to you getting back into your shape and you being this and you being that. Yeah. And now you're giving her an opportunity to just give you whatever the objection is that she doesn't want to share with, as herself, and she will use the husband as the third party that is not there, that might have this and this concern. And you just solve those concerns and you just go for the close. So what do you feel needs to happen today so tomorrow you can be closer to your goals? You should do it. Yeah, but do you want to do it? Because you don't have to. Yes. Okay. So what do we do? Yeah, I want to do it. But I cannot do it without speaking with my husband. Like, this is, and then at that point, it's like, okay, so you're 100% in. You're just doing this. You're just letting him know that you're gonna do this, and you just want to make sure that you don't fully pull the trigger without at least having a conversation, just out of respect. That is that what I'm hearing? Yes. Okay. So don't pull the full trigger. I agree that wouldn't be good. That wouldn't be a good practice of what you're doing. But I also don't believe that doing nothing is the best thing to do from now. So how about we put a down payment? So you are committed. You commit to your 50%, like yourself. And that way, when you speak with your husband, you can also use it as an evidence. It's like, hey, I didn't pull the full trigger, just put a deposit because I just want to make sure that you support me along this journey, right? Would that help you? Yeah, let's do it. Boom. Because if she's hesitant about putting down a deposit, like she's not sold already.
Okay.
Yet, right? But again, you see, it's just like, if you think about it, if you truly think about it, there are some offers where the partner objection makes sense and it's totally normal. And there are some others where it doesn't make any sense. This one is one of those where it's like, do you genuinely need to speak with your partner so that you can decide whether you want to just get back in shape into your body, your confidence? Like, do you genuinely, it's just like, it doesn't make sense, It doesn't. Unless it's like, unless the only situation where it makes sense is where it's like, yes, because it's not my money, because he's taking care of me, like I'm not working or whatever.
Yeah.
Then that's different. But it doesn't matter. Like, even if they give you the partner objection, okay, very important goal in these calls is, even if they give you the partner objection, you still have to get them to commit on the call when it comes to them making the change. So how can I put it? Let me put it this way: them give you the partner objection is not an excuse to not go all the way in and get this person to be fully committed to their goals, regardless of whether that partner objection is real or not. Regardless if that call ends up in a follow-up call booked, in a down payment, or in a close. Regardless, that is not a reason to just like to not lead that person and make that person decide for themselves. Because again, like you can say, I totally respect that, and if that is truly something that is a rule that you guys do, we're not going to break it. But that is not going to get in the way of you committing to you today to yourself, just to creating a commitment, right? So let's talk about it. Let's break that down. There's no decision, there's no financial decision you're going to do today. But what kind of leader would I be? What kind of accountability coach would I be? You leave this call and nothing has changed. What would I say about me, about how good my services are?
Yeah.
So do you want to have a strong coach that can help you, can hold you accountable? Do you want a weak one? I want a strong one. So let's talk about it. What's holding you back?
Yeah.
So again, it's about change. These calls that you have is about change, and them saying in front of you, hey, I'm doing this. Regardless if it is with you alone, but we're just seeking commitment. And then guess what? Once we get them there, then buying or just signing up is just a natural next step, right? Maybe a lot of the uncertainty, a lot of the discomfort is coming from the neediness or the expectation of making a sale. But if you just remove that from your mind and just go, no, my goal is to just make this conversation the conversation where they're going to be faced with the truth, and they're going to make a decision about it, whether it's yes, I'm going to work towards my goals, or I'm going to surrender because fear is too much and I'm just going to settle for these patterns of behavior, these patterns of eating, of whatever that it is. But what we cannot allow, especially for these people, is indecision. Indecision is what's going to kill them. So they have to make a decision, regardless if it's yes, I'm going to change, or no, I'm not going to change. They don't have to necessarily purchase there, but they have to make a decision. And that's what that is a little bit of a test of a sample of what it is to work with you, Kate, as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that helpful?
Yeah. It's really helpful.
It's just practice, okay? Like, there's different ways you can say it. right? There's strategy where it's like they give you the objection, we have to identify it, isolate it, confirm that's the only objection, and then there's the solving mechanism. But yeah, it's just practice. Do you want to do another one? I do closer so that you can see me, since we still have a couple minutes.
Yes. Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so just give me whatever you want. Okay, it's $3,000.
That sounds like a lot of money. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, so I have worked with a coach before. I didn't see great results all the time. I struggled with my emotions. I didn't get as much out of it as I wanted to get out of it. What would be the difference between me working with them and working with you?
Yeah, I hear you 100%. No words at all. But the reason why you're here today is because even though you've had, those things in the past, you haven't given up. This is still important to you. You're still looking for a way to make this work. Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right. So those past experiences that you've had in the past, first of all, the most important thing for me, do you want those things to get in the way of you actually getting what you want?
No, I don't.
Why not?
Because I still want to feel better about myself. There has to be a way to find that.
Okay. And based on what we've covered in terms of the process, what's included, level of support, do you feel that this is what you're looking for? Do you feel that this is what's going to put you this time in the best position possible to actually get to where you want to be?
Yeah.
You didn't sound too sure to me. What's coming out for you?
I suppose it's still me showing up. I suppose it's me.
Okay. That's why you're here. Because if you could trust your own judgment, your own decision making, you wouldn't be here in the first place, right? One of the main reasons why you're here is because you need external help. You need external accountability because you cannot trust your own decisions when it comes to exercise, nutrition, and health. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
So you don't have to have confidence in yourself. It's not you following your own decisions. You just have to have confidence in the person that's going to hold you accountable, because that with that person is actually how change is going to happen.
Okay. Yeah.
You following me?
Yeah.
It's normal that you're not confident about yourself. That's why you're here. And that's why you haven't been able to accomplish what you want by yourself, right? So what needs to happen is you need to work with someone, that's why you're here, that can hold you accountable, that can give you the confidence until you can start trusting yourself. We build that up until you no longer need anybody. So there's a process to it. So do you feel, based on this conversation that we've had and based on what you've seen from me, do you feel I can be that person for you?
Yeah.
And why do you feel that though? Blah blah.
I like the way that you just had me accountable. Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
whatever,
sorry. Yeah,
whatever.
that's really good. Yeah, I like that, because I would have gone naturally into like this awful pitch about myself. So that I really like that.
Yeah, it's just like they cannot doubt you, Kate. Anything you throw at me or you're questioning me, in the back of my mind, it's like there's no way you can doubt me because I have a process that has worked for many, many people. So there's no way you can doubt my process. So the only reason why you're trying to doubt my process is because your brain doesn't know where the uncertainty is coming from, and is lack of self-esteem in disguise of skepticism. All it is lack of self-esteem in disguise of skepticism. So you're pretending to be skeptical about me, but facts and the truth is that there's nothing to be skeptical about my process. Really, where that is coming from is from a lack of you believing in yourself, right? So it's just like boom, you just show them that you just tell them that that's really what's going on.
Yeah.
And if they tell you like, how do I know? Imagine they say like, yeah, I'm not sure like if you guys are legit or whatever. Or I'm not sure if your process works, right? Imagine. Like, well, were you able to go through testimonials? Were you able to go through my story and the people that I work with? Yes. So do you feel all those people were actors? Right? And they're gonna say no. Or do you feel all those people are actors that I just paid to say what they said? Just make a little bit of fun of it. They're gonna say, no, obviously no, they're real people. They're real people, right? So if all of those people and even myself has gone through this process and it works, would it be safe to say that the process works? Yeah, if you follow it. So would it be safe to say that this is less about whether this process works and more about whether you trust yourself to actually follow it and stick to it? Yeah, that's right. And I just moved the objection. See how did I move? Would it be safe to say that this is less about you not trusting the process and more about you not sure or being unsure about following and sticking to it, because that's actually what's happening. But I cannot say that. I have to ask it, so they say it.
Okay, yeah.
And
And then if they
yeah,
say yes, it's then saying, okay, so you don't need to believe in yourself because that's why you're here.
this works really well, because the reality is that they don't have to make a decision based on the level of confidence they have in themselves, because
Yeah.
that's why they need this decision. You know what I mean? Like, that's like they've already proved to themselves that they don't have enough confidence to do this by themselves. So they need someone else with more confidence, with more belief in themselves, that can not only work with them, but also hold them accountable, so that eventually they can regain back that confidence, build it up, until they no longer need accountability. They no longer need this person, because now they just rebuild themselves, and now they can trust their own words, so to say.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That makes
Right.
sense.
But
Yeah.
that is something that only works in this offer, right? Because there's this level of there's this degree of like, hey, like, if I leave it to myself, I would never do it. And because like here's the proof of that.
And then if they're sometimes I ask that the consequence question, and they might say, okay, if I don't work with you, I know I'm going to do something. I know I am going to change and do something.
Oh yeah, that's why you're here. Like, I'm definitely not questioning your willingness. You seem like a predetermined person.
Okay.
This is more to explore the dark side of the coin.
Yeah.
Because in the exact same way that the bright side of the coin gives you the fuel to move forward, to just do what's required, the darker side also does the same, right? So hypothetically, if nothing changes, if the actions that need to be taken to get to your goals are not made, hypothetically, I'm not saying that's going to happen. Well, what would that look like 12 months from now if things continue down this route? I know it won't, but how that would look like for you, that happens hypothetically. So they just didn't understand the question. That's the only thing.
All right.
We just need to clarify. A lot of times when you ask the consequence question, some of them, they will, their ego will stand in the way, and then that's why they go, oh no, that's not going to happen, right?
Yeah.
And it's just that they didn't understand the question. It's a very unique question. A lot of them, they've never been asked this question in the past. It's normal. Some people don't understand it, so we just need to re-clarify it.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So how?
Really good. Yeah, really helpful. Thanks very much.
Just imagine you've been able to show up like this, with this energy in your calls.
I know.
Game changer, isn't it? Yeah. It's at your fingertips. It's like we just gotta continue to do this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll do it. Yeah. Thanks, Paolo. Thanks. Okay. See you later. Thanks.
See you in the next
bye.
one.
Bye.
Bye.